Have you ever wondered why Xbox controllers still use disposable batteries? It's amazing how Xbox has the most powerful console in the world with one of the best controllers in the industry, and yet they still insist on using disposable batteries. But have you ever wondered why Xbox does that? Get ready, because today we are going to explain to you why Xbox is still using disposable batteries.
Super players.
Both PS4 and PS5 use rechargeable batteries. In fact, even the old PS3 used rechargeable batteries. The Nintendo Switch uses rechargeable batteries, and even the previous console, the Wii U, also used rechargeable batteries. So why does Xbox insist on using single-use batteries, even at the cost of harming the environment? Let's look at it more objectively to see both sides of the coin. Remember, nothing is so good that it doesn't have something bad, and nothing is so bad that it doesn't have something good. Based on this, then, let's take a look at the good and bad of having rechargeable batteries and the good and bad of having disposable batteries. The first thing is to see where the need to have batteries in the controllers comes from, because if you remember, consoles like the NES or the Super Nintendo did not have them. Obviously, this need arose when the consoles began to bring wireless controllers by default. So really not that long ago. We're talking around the Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3 era, better known as the 7th generation of consoles. More recently, the PS4 controller also had a rechargeable battery. The main advantage of this controller having a rechargeable battery is that, obviously, when it is discharged, you can recharge it by plugging it in using a USB cable. Of course, this was much more practical, and it is more friendly to the environment and even with your wallet, since you don't have to buy disposable batteries. However, they also have their downside. This battery only lasts around 4 to 8 hours with a full charge while it's brand new, which means that, depending on how much you play with it, you will have to be charging the controller daily or inter-daily at least. This is because that battery is only 1000 mAh, which is very small compared to the 2000 or 3000 mAh of good quality AAA batteries. In addition, the PS4 controller is famous for high power consumption because of the LED light that they put on the back, and that basically only serves to play in VR. You can turn down the intensity to save battery life, remove vibration, and other tricks, but in the end, the PS4 controller has a very low capacity battery. The PS5 DualSense is not much better either. Yes, the battery is bigger, but with the built-in microphones, speakers, adaptive triggers, lighting, and all of that other stuff, the power consumption is higher too, so battery life is just not that great, and you'll find yourself charging your controller constantly, both using the included USB-C cable or buying a DualSense charging station. But that is not the worst of all. The worst thing is that this battery, like all batteries, such as the one in your cell phone or laptop, degrades over time, and each day it holds less and less charge. And that's not even all of it. This battery is built into the controller, so in case it gets damaged or degraded so much that it's practically useless, you're gonna have to repair your controller by doing a disassembly and swapping out the battery for a new one, or just buy a new controller. Now the other side of the coin, the Xbox controller. And in this case, we're talking about the Xbox 360 as well as the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S controllers. These controllers use disposable batteries, specifically AA batteries, that as soon as they are discharged, you have to throw them away, and of course buy new batteries. The good thing is that the batteries in an Xbox controller, being always new, last more than 30 hours, which, spread over short gaming sessions, can easily last you 15 days or a month, or even more, depending on your gaming habits. And of course, you can obviously take the old ones out and replace them with new ones easily. This is very important, because in this way, the battery is separated from the controller, so if the battery is damaged, you only need to remove the battery cover, replace it, and the controller will continue to work perfectly. There is also another advantage. You don't have to wait for your controller to recharge. Even though it's worth mentioning that both the Xbox and PlayStation controllers allow you to play without batteries as long as you have the controller plugged in. But if you want to play wirelessly exclusively, then yes, you're going to have to wait for the batteries to charge, and in that situation, disposable batteries are better, because you just put them in and you can play wirelessly instantly. In addition, if you sit far from the TV, for example on a sofa in the living room, the typical cable you'll use to charge the controller is so short that it will not allow you to play while charging. Unless, of course, you have a really long cable. It's also worth mentioning that Duracell and Xbox do indeed have a deal in place. Most people have speculated that this is the sole reason Xbox still uses batteries. But it has more to do with the fact that Duracell is the supplier of all the batteries Xbox controllers have when you buy them, not the reason why Xbox has batteries. By the way, we can't let this video go by without giving the Wii U and Nintendo Switch Pro controllers an honorable mention. These controllers you see here, when fully charged, lets you play from 40 to 80 hours on a single charge. Here in the office, they last so long without charging that it is common that we lose their respective charging cables constantly. Simply put, they have been the best controller batteries we have tested so far. Now, let's get back to Xbox. We're pretty sure that there is a hybrid scenario that is extremely convenient for almost any other controller that uses batteries. And it's basically having a controller that uses disposable batteries and putting rechargeable batteries in it. This is the best of both worlds, because you don't have to go around buying batteries, and if the battery degrades or gets damaged, you just buy another one, and you don't have to buy another controller, which is much more expensive. In fact, you can buy 4 rechargeable batteries with a charger for less than $10 on Amazon, and so you always have 2 batteries charging and 2 in your controller. This scenario is much better than having a rechargeable battery like the one in the PS4 and PS5 controllers. And things actually get much better if you just invest a few more bucks and buy even better quality rechargeable batteries like the famous Eneloops. But that's not all. There is one last scenario that, for us, is the best of them all, and it is, in fact, the one we use. Having a controller that uses disposable batteries and buying a charging dock with rechargeable batteries. Currently, we have been doing it this way for several years, and we are convinced that this is the most cost-effective, the most aesthetically pleasing, and the most practical option. In our case, we have been using Nyko charging docks that include batteries for all of our consoles. They are not expensive, and yet they are extremely practical. For Xbox, they offer a rechargeable battery with a special cover which allows you to put the controller in the dock and charge it automatically, and even show you a light to indicate when it's fully charged. This is 1,000 times better than charging the controller with a cable, or charging the batteries with a battery charger. In fact, we already charge all of the controllers unconsciously this way, since that's the place we put them when we're done gaming so that they're always charged. And of course, there are other options like the official charge and play kit that let you charge your controller while you play. There are other brands with similar charging products that, from the reviews, seem to work well. But there are also many cheaper, generic, and poor quality brands with bad reviews. So be careful. It's also important to mention that Microsoft has already officially commented on the battery situation and why they decide to always go with disposable batteries. Here's what Xbox's Jason Rowland tells us about it. The bottom line is that when we actually talk to gamers, opinions are very polarized, and there's a very strong part that really wants AA batteries. So giving them the flexibility is a way to satisfy both groups of people. See, if Xbox went for a rechargeable battery, it would leave aside half of the gamers who, according to their own metrics, prefer this type of solution. Actually, when this news broke on Reddit, it was filled with hundreds and hundreds of comments supporting this decision. So, yeah, Xbox is right. Making the controllers use replaceable, disposable batteries allows gamers to have much more flexibility and much more options. And that is precisely the reason why the Xbox controllers have disposable batteries.
Super players.